Happy Monday. What's up, everybody? Welcome into the FYF live show brought to you by Front Yard Fantasy. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my co-host, John Lou Garofalo. What's up, dude?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Ready for this football Monday, except we have no football. It's just a football Monday in our hearts,
Just a
minds,
sad
and butts.
February day.
It's a medium February day. Doesn't necessarily have to be 7. What sports do we got the NBA going on right now, and is that it?
Olympics just ended.
Yeah,
Winter
that's what Olympics done. Basketball, and that's about all we got going on right now. It's a little bit sad.
Oh, you know what I watched last night, Simon?
What?
We watched the Lakers game, Lakers Celtics, and I don't know what the exact honor was, but they were honoring Pat Riley and the Showtime Lakers. So you had like the entire lineup. Magic Johnson was hosting. He's the MC.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then you had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar there, looking a little old, but still looking alive.
Still looking like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, like a boss. Yeah. I saw they put up a Pat Riley statue. I didn't realize they were doing a whole thing to him yesterday. That would have been sick to watch. I wish I would have known. I watched a very tense movie last night instead, though, that the trailer made it look way more playful than it was. And then the whole thing was just kind of like, okay, that's not very playful. That's pretty scary and bad. One battle after another with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh yeah.
It was good.
I haven't finished it, so
it was a great movie. I enjoyed it. Maybe enjoyed is the wrong word. It was a great movie. But sometimes I like movies where they end and I feel like, that movie ended. And I was like ready to fucking fight. Know what I mean? I was ready to go. I was ready to do a battle myself.
To be fair, they did say it in the title.
One battle after another, baby. One battle after another. Well, here for his battle today is Dynasty Dave. A battle of having to watch these two jabronis for half an hour talk ball. What's up, Dave? Welcome in, Dave? My friend. Hope you had a good weekend. And Craig said, how many total battles are there in the movie? If you count internal, external, and another kind of eternal, probably upwards of 300, if I had to guess. Seemed like every moment in that movie was a battle. My wife had the funniest criticism at the end of that movie, and I didn't realize it till the very end. She said, I wish Leonardo DiCaprio would have done anything. She was like, we just watched a 3-hour movie and he was just kind of along for the ride. Like the entire time he was just there. And like, I guess there was so much going on that I didn't realize it. I'm thinking back and I'm like, I guess he was just kind of there for the whole movie. He was beautiful while doing it, but he didn't have so much agency in that movie.
It felt like he was like the older actor who's there to like prop up Teyana Taylor.
100%. She killed it.
Musician more, I don't know that I guess she does act. I didn't know that she acted, but that's I haven't finished it, so no spoilers.
Okay, I won't say nothing else. We're working our way through the Oscar nominees for this year. We watched
by all those little marketing tags on there.
100%.
Oscar nominee. HBO.
Well, we watched Sinners, and then from there we were like, well, that's one down. We might as well watch the others. Yeah.
Work again.
I like Sinners. So far, Sinners is the top of my list out of the 2 that I've watched. But I did have really scary vampire dreams that next night. I haven't had dreams inspired by a movie in a while, and Sinners got like just full-on scary, terrifying vampire. I got movie nightmares. That hasn't happened since like 101 Dalmatians when I was a child.
101 Dalmatians, yeah, scariest child's movie there is.
Dude, Cruella de Vil was scary and hot, and I think that combo guaranteed she got into my dreams.
No, there's definitely a kids movie where like the witch character I found attractive. I think it was Snow White. It was like the cartoon one, and it was like the I don't know if it was Maleficent.
I thought you were talking about like the old decrepit whenever she dresses up with the long nose and got the poison apple.
Yeah, old decrepit.
That your hear me out is the decrepit witch from Snow White.
It's kind of hot.
We got Damon here saying hello,
what up, Dame?
fellas. What's up?
What
Dame?
Up? Good to see you.
Hello, Dame. Dame.
And
him just said jail is a real lockjaw.
Facts.
Colonel Lockjaw, Sergeant Lockjaw, Loser Lockjaw.
My mom tried to scare me into getting a tetanus shot by detailing what Lockjaw is as a kid, and it worked. I 100% went and got my tetanus shot. I was way more scared of Lockjaw than the shot.
Dude, when I learned the symptom of tetanus, like poisoning or whatever it is that it prevents, is like the red line that like goes up your arm towards your heart. Anytime I like poked myself with anything metal my entire life,
You're like, that's it.
I've just been like obsessively watching, like, is there a red line? Is it forming? Is it forming? Looking all over my body for that red line heading towards my heart, positive that it was going to happen. But it didn't. Well, today I wanted to finish up some of our predictions that we started last week. We cut it before we got into the fantasy ones. We got a couple others on there as well. But before we do that, there was a big running back signing. We've been doing all of this free agency talk. They are not free agents until March 11th, but they can re-sign with their current team if they get a new contract underway. And Javonte Williams signed a 3-year, like $25 million contract with the Dallas Cowboys. It's roughly a little bit over $8 million a year on that one after he showed up for them. So he's going to be back on the Cowboys. Do you think this is a good thing for his fantasy production? Do you think it means more of the same next season that we saw this year?
Yeah, I do. I think it's definitely more of the same that we saw last season. We'll see a little bit later in these predictions, but I'm not crazy bullish on the entire Cowboys offense. But I do think Javonte Williams will get the volume that he needs. So bar injury, I think he'll be fine this upcoming year. Cowboys, I'm not that bullish on, but I think they're going to have to lean on him.
I think what's interesting is the value sitting at $8 million. We've seen wide receiver contracts kind of go up. Like we see guys like Christian Kirk get more valuable contracts than someone like Javonte Williams, similar time frames. But I think there's only 2 guys looking at the list left that are probably going to get more money than Javonte. Like, we're looking at this. He kind of set a bar here. I don't see anyone besides Breece Hall or Kenneth Walker and maybe Travis Etienne if a team looks at him and sees like that 3-down skill set. Know what I mean? If they're like, that's a guy who can catch passes and run out of the backfield, that might bump a little premium on there. But it seems like Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker are the only ones that can expect more money on that next contract, and that might make more players re-sign with the current teams that they're on. Not as willing to test the market if a guy like Javonte is getting $25 million for 3 years.
Yeah, that's fair. How do you feel about Javonte, Simon? You think he'll be as good fantasy-wise?
I prefer my running backs pre-juicy contract instead of post-juicy contract.
Yeah.
Like fighting for that juicy contract.
Yeah.
Now, this is a small difference. Know what I mean? I think he's in a good situation. I think very rarely do you see teams get rid of support around a player, though, and it's likely that they bring in another running back through the draft or free agency, someone to complement him, but they showed that they trust him. I don't think he's like an elite talent, but he's on a highly productive offense. He will probably be good next season. And if the Cowboys defense is a little bit better as well, that could spell more good news for Javonte Williams. I'm curious what our friend Craig thinks, our Cowboys fan in the chat, if he likes this move for Javonte.
Resident Cowboy.
Yeah. Hey, I'm the one who lives in Texas.
That's true. A resident assistant Cowboy.
Thank you. Assistant Cowboy Craig. Well, John Luke, these were the predictions that we started last week. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. Just to review, we predicted the AFC champion, NFC champion, and the Super Bowl champion. You had the New York Giants beating the Denver Broncos in the Super Bowl. I had the Chargers beating the Bears in the Super Bowl, and I currently have the hiccup, so excuse me while I try to eliminate those. If you could scare me at some point during this show, JL, maybe mention vampires or something.
Yeah, I'll just bring up that scary movie.
I've got the regular season MVP as Caleb Williams. You've got it as Justin Herbert, who I had as the Super Bowl MVP. And you went all in on the New York Giants with Jackson Dart as your Super Bowl MVP. I'm going to be honest, JL. After we left the show last week, I thought, I got a little too cute. I got a little too hot. And I did delete my Offensive Player of the Year prediction. I am redoing it today. I'm taking that liberty since you left yours, Blink. Omarion Hampton. It was a little too exciting. He's going to show back up on my list, but I am.
That would have been such a crazy prediction. And if it hit, you would have been a god.
And if it hits now, I'm going to be such a loser. Know what I mean? Like, if that happens now, I'm going to be sitting here just like, you buffoon.
You dummy.
Dude, it's like the story. Sorry to get off topic, but there was a guy recently. He always buys $85 worth of lottery tickets, same numbers every single week. This just happened. But he got there and he only had $60 after they had already printed all $85 of tickets. So he couldn't buy the last $25 worth of tickets and left with $60 of them. They'd already been printed. Nobody had purchased them. One of those $25 worth of tickets ended up being a $12 million winning lottery ticket. The attendant behind the gas station who did the purchase after the numbers were pulled purchased those tickets, paid for it by putting the money in the till. And now they're trying to figure out who gets the money. It's definitely not the guy who didn't buy him because he didn't buy him. It definitely shouldn't be the guy who paid for them after the numbers were drawn, right? They were printed but unpaid for. But there's just this whole like, what is the mechanic here? My prediction is it's pretty cut and dry. No one gets the money.
Yeah, feels like that's what they would do just to save the money.
Yeah, but that guy, can you imagine every week of your life buying $85 worth of lottery ticket, you're $25 short, and that's the week one of your numbers hits?
I would. That's insane. That's insane that would happen. To commit that long to a strategy just to one time mess it up and that be the one time, that guy's going to heaven.
Yeah, I hope so. Or he's going to do some things that make sure he doesn't based on this result. Craig in here said Javonte was a big name high pick before he kept getting hurt. Value-wise, I like the deal. He is clearly talented and seems to be healthy. Only 26 this season. Yeah. And we've got the arbiter, Craig. He is the arbiter of rules, the keeper of stats. He says FYF should get the money. Final decision. I will let the lottery commission know. And that $12 million is coming to FYF. Just you wait to see what stupid shit we do with $12 million.
So much stupid merch.
I'm getting a donkey.
Getting 3 donkeys.
I'm getting 3 donkeys and a mule.
This is Craig, and Craig.
Yeah. Assistant Cowboy of the Year, Craig Reith. We predicted the playoff team that would miss the playoffs. I said the Houston Texans. You said the Carolina Panthers. Then we both predicted a non-playoff team that makes the playoffs. The Indianapolis Colts for me and the Baltimore Ravens for you. Jail, I wanted to jump back in before we got to the fantasy ones with the offensive and defensive player of the year predictions. Yeah. I'm sticking with my Myles Garrett call. I know there's other amazing defensive players in the league. He just broke the sack record. That defense is expected to stay the same next year. That team supports him and the amazing things that he does. It feels like the point of the Browns defense is let's set shit up for Myles Garrett to wreck this game, not just get the sack record. So nothing changed. He did it this year. I think he can do it again next year.
No, I think that's a very safe pick. The Browns can only go up from here.
You think that?
For my defensive play of the year, I'm going to pick a player who I feel like will kind of played like Myles Garrett this year. Will Anderson on the Houston Texans. He was playing lights out on that defense, and now he's got another year with D'Amico Ryans, the defensive coach, genius mind. So Will Anderson. I'm hoping that these two guys just become like powerhouses, just start pushing each other.
He was close this year. Had Myles Garrett not broken the sack record, I think it would have been a much tighter race. Like had there not been that like historical moment attached to what Myles Garrett did, Will Anderson probably would have been more in the running. And we saw that team in the playoffs. We saw what that offense did, and yet they were a playoff team. They were a playoff team that won a game. It was the defense. Exactly. That was a Super Bowl quality defense, and Will Anderson is probably the major part of that. I like the pick, JL. We probably went a little safe on those, but I think as non-defensive guys, it makes a lot of sense for us to go a little safe on those picks.
Maybe.
We'll see. Craig, we're calling on you a lot. We've been talking Cowboys and defense so far this show, so that's the Assistant Cowboy of the Year special. Offensive Player of the Year. I thought long and hard about this. Omarion Hampton, it's not that I don't believe you. I promise I'm putting your name somewhere else on this list. But I needed to go with a quarterback. Unless something crazy happens, and I don't think next season is going to be another drop-off year of QB production where Christian McCaffrey is suddenly the most valuable player. And if a running back does win it, it's probably the name I just said, Christian McCaffrey, or someone similar. Probably not a second-year back coming off of an injury and an offense that has other pieces that they're focused on. I'm going to go with a player that is going to have a bounce back year, though, in some ways. A team that you've already got listed here, and I think Lamar Jackson. While they may not be the best team in the league, I think Lamar Jackson is going to have a full bounce back season with that chip on his shoulder and end up winning Offensive Player of the Year. Probably in a tight race for MVP. Like probably sitting up there, tight race. Maybe it'll just be team success. The Chargers end up with that number 1 seed. The Ravens end up in a wild card spot kind of situation. So Lamar Jackson ends up getting Offensive Player of the Year instead of Most Valuable Player.
I like that pick. I like that pick a lot. That feels safe. That feels like Lamar Jackson could do that in a year.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm going with a player who's exactly the same. Well, maybe not the same type of. He's the similar type of player, but without the safety on the bottom end of it, which is Jaden Daniels.
Ooh.
A little bit more risky of a pick, but same reasoning that you have, Simon. I think he could do it. He's got the talent. We've seen the sparks. He's just got to stay healthy. He's got to put it all together. And they got a new offensive coordinator this year. What's his face is gone, the Arizona guy, Cliff Kingsbury. So maybe Jane Daniel. I like Cliff Kingsbury. I said that terribly. Cliff Kingsbury. God, it's too many K's in his name. Cliff Kingsbury. I like him. He's a good coach, I think. I think he's a good offensive coordinator. I think they shouldn't have let him go, but I don't think it matters. Jane Daniel seems pretty freaking good, so I'm gonna go with him.
See ya, King Cliffsbury. Without you, Jane Daniels getting Offensive Player of the Year, according to John Luke. Greg in here with his Defensive Player of the Year prediction said Micah Parsons. Pick. Yeah, that's a good pick.
Comes back super strong.
Yeah, did you see the podcast or the interview with him and Myles Garrett where he's trying to say, like, I'm the only player in the NFL that can line up at every spot, and Myles Garrett is like, I got a sack from every spot along the line this year, and he keeps trying to double down, and it gives like complete like little brother trying to show up his big brother energy, like, and that's not what it is. They're both incredible, they're both top of the game, but the way Micah, he's just sitting there like nah, dude, I'm the only one who can do that. I'm the only, and Myles is like, you can just look at my stat sheet. Not only can I just did, like, I did it this year. You can just watch my highlights, Micah. Pretty funny. Good. Okay, I wanted to move into our fantasy players, Joe. We're going to call a breakout or bounce back and a bust at each of the fantasy positions. I say we start with quarterback. Do you want to give yours first, or do you want me to give mine?
Yeah, I'll go first. Going breakout. I'm going Cam Ward. Robert Saleh is now the head coach of Tennessee, and Cam Ward started to show signs of life towards the later half of that rookie season this past year. Robert Saleh, who I think is a good coach, got ousted out of the Jets too soon. He's a defensive-minded coach. Just keep that in mind. But I still think he'll get it done. He's got Dable there. Dable, Cam Ward. I think they'll be able to get it done. Bald guy coaching staff. They'll get it done.
The power of the bald head. That shine. He's going to be able to see. He's got an extra field of vision because he can watch the reflection of the game and all of his coaches' heads on the sideline. He can do no-look passes. Just
doesn't matter where he's looking. He's always got an angle.
Saleh puts his head down like this. Cam Ward looks straight into it, sees his receiver on the other side of the field, no look pass.
Damn. They never thought that ball could be weaponized.
It can be weaponized. And then on the other side, on defense, those coaches are going to start putting the sun into the other QB's eyes. So they're going to like reflect it different ways.
I like that pick. I can't see anything. The light's in my eyes.
I like that pick because of all the reasons you gave. And I like that pick because it would be fun. Know what I mean? Like Cam Ward, his style of play is fun. Whenever we've watched him look good on the field, the Tennessee Titans were an exciting team to watch. It just wasn't quite consistent. If he can put it together this year, then it's a more fun NFL season. And I like NFL seasons that are more fun. Yeah. I'm going to go with a player that I think there's some doubts on. I think after this season, people are not buying into, but you look at the weapons around them, you look at the coach, you look at Justin Jefferson, you look at Jordan Addison, you look at the rest of that team. I think JJ McCarthy gets it done. He's got the right mindset for the NFL. I think whenever he comes back, we're going to see a player that is able to finally piece it together. I'm not calling for a top 5 kind of season, but I think he can sneak into the top 12. I think this is an offense that has been great. We saw Sam Darnold lead that team to 14 wins and then just take another team to the Super Bowl. Maybe it was premature to plug in JJ McCarthy, but how many times have we seen a player who wasn't quite ready to be the starter and then develop later? I mean, I think people forget that used to be the path for players. You used to put Peyton Manning in and have him throw the most interceptions that a player's ever thrown in their career, and then he becomes a Hall of Famer. Again, this is not me calling for JJ to be a Hall of Famer, but that was a young dude adjusting fast post-injury to an NFL pace. You give him another full offseason, I think we see JJ bounce back, and it really helps having arguably the best wide receiver in the NFL to do that with in Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it does help for sure having Justin Jefferson. It wasn't enough to help him out this year. Like, that wasn't just having Justin Jefferson. There's still something missing that he needs. I don't know exactly what it is. I hope he finds it out this offseason because I don't think he's going to get another shot if he doesn't actually break out this season. They're not going to wait again for him to come back. So Better stay healthy and better put it together, JJ. Time's running out, my friend.
Yeah, I mean they fired their GM.
There's only so many more names, who can take the fall.
Yeah, it's and I don't think it's going to be their coach. I think it probably will be JJ if it doesn't work out this season. But this is the kind of dude that feels like that kind of pressure will make him perform better, not crack. And maybe that's an assumption that I'm making, but
just based off of how like his mindset, his looks,
his demeanor,
how his mindset looks,
how his mind looks, based on his cranium, based on the way he talks about ball, based on the way he speaks to the media. He doesn't seem like it's like knocking him down. He seems like he's taking it like I can like watch this approach. And sometimes you say watch this and it becomes more embarrassing than it was before, but we shall see. I'll go first on my bust, JL, and this one hurts. And it's not that I think he's going to be bad. It's just I think maybe this team won't need him to throw the ball as much next year. We talk about this offense looking amazing. We talk about the new offensive coordinator in town, but they had an injured and not so great running back core this year. I've brought up the name multiple times, and Omarion Hampton being down. I just think there's a chance Justin Herbert is not a top 12 quarterback next year. That does not mean he's bad. That does not mean he's not one of the best quarterbacks in the league. But I do think from a fantasy perspective, if you draft him as the 7th, 8th, 9th quarterback, there's a good chance you're disappointed. There's a good chance this team is just better next season. They've got a better defense. They've got a better running game. Keenan Allen is gone. You don't need Justin Herbert to do as much on the field to find the level of success that they're looking for. Again, this could be him falling to 14, but in a one quarterback league, you don't want the QB 14 on your team.
That's fair.
It was hard looking at that list, man. Looking at the top 12 guys and picking someone who wasn't going to do it again next year. Like there was a lot of names that I was just like, I think you're all going to do it.
That's fair. I think Justin Herbert will do it personally. I think your point is like solid that they're going to have other avenues to explore. So they won't be as dependent on him as they clearly were this season for most of it.
He's had plenty of seasons outside of the top 12 quarterbacks, like QB 14, QB 17, QB 13, that were good seasons for him. He was the QB 12 in 2024. He was where was he in? He was QB 17 in 2023. And again, this is with him playing well. Just sometimes that's not good enough to be a fantasy quarterback. Sometimes you need to be on a worse team. Sometimes the offense needs to funnel through you.
I think maybe I'm just like, I have got the PTSD because I counted Justin Herbert out when he got into the league, and I've never really recovered from that. He's been so good, so consistently that I'm like, I can't count this guy out now with Mike McDaniels as his OC. He's just got a super weapon at his coaching position. They're going to be able to do all sorts of things. He's going to be able to throw the ball where he never even thought he could throw before, Simon.
We'll see. But I am excited for that offense. So it feels a little bit bad putting that here. It's just when I look at that list, I think he's likely to end up outside of the top 12. He doesn't have to do much different to end up outside of the top 12 either. And whenever you look at the names underneath him, if you predict one other guy to kind of step up above him, all of a sudden it gets a little stinky.
I mean, if your point is that he's going from QB 10 to QB 14, I think that's not that like big of a drop down. Maybe it's worth defining what the bust is. Like bust just based off of top 12. I mean, if he's finishing in the top half of the top 24, then that's not bad.
Bust defined as inside the top 12 last season, but outside the top 24 next season. So I went against my own rule, but I will stick with my prediction.
You think Herbert will be outside 24?
No, that'll be rough, but that's what I said, and that's what I'm sticking to.
That's fair. Within the top 12.
So I feel like with quarterbacks, that's really tough because there's only 32 of them. So maybe we loosen that a little bit there. The other positions are a little tighter. You got a lot more names to sift through.
I wanted to go with Caleb Williams for the bust, but I'm not going to because I don't think he'll be outside the top 24. And this player, I think, will likely prove me wrong, but I'm going to go with Dak Prescott.
Ooh.
He's a player who, as I alluded to earlier in the show, we were talking Javonte Williams. I'm not sure that once defenses figure out how to dismantle the Pickens, CeeDee Lamb show, that offense is going to be as good. And Dak Prescott really hasn't like taken many jumps in terms of improvement year over year. He's always been like the solid 85. Like he hits that 85% mark like perfectly every time he plays. But I don't know. I could see him dropping out. I could see him just starting to fall off.
I'm curious. Okay, well, I mean, last year he was injured, of course, or in 2024, but he was the QB 31 in 2024. In 2023, he was the QB 3. In 2022,
one of those.
He was the QB 18, also injured that season. So, Jail, just based on 2 of the last 4 seasons, he's had an injury that knocked him out of the top 24. This almost feels like which of these quarterbacks is most likely to have a season-ending or significant injury? That's kind of what
what it ended up being. Because the other quarterback who I was going to mention, who I had on my paper, was Jordan Love. He wasn't top 12. He was top 15. But he felt like someone who could drop out for not injury reasons. But most of the top 12, it's like, oh man, barring injury, are you gonna bet Patrick Mahomes doesn't land in the top 24?
Yeah, that's pretty rough. I'm not counting Baker out.
Maybe Jared Goff, you could maybe make an argument for, but even so, it's like top 24.
But then I got to cheer for it being not fun. Like the Lions, you know what I mean? Like the Lions being good again is fun. And if I put Jared Goff, it's less fun. Like the way they're fun is Jared Goff throws for 4,000 plus yards and that offense is doing banana shit every week.
Yeah, no, it's fair. Amateur hours, and we all strive to get to 9 levels of potential. That and lives, just like the Cats.
9 levels of potential. Is that a reference I'm missing? If I have no idea that your silence says you're also missing it.
You don't know, Simon. I can't help you here, buddy.
You're right. That's all on me. Thanks for your help there. Well, John Luke, how about you give your wide receiver here next?
All right, my breakout wide receiver. He already started to break out. This might be cheap, but I'm going to Mika Egbuka. He, like I mentioned, he started breaking out. We all were like, "Yep, this is it," and then it fizzled out throughout the season, second half of the season, really. I think Mike Evans, if he gets re-signed to the Bucs, it's good for Egbuka. I think if he doesn't, it's probably still good for Egbuka. Either way, we all know Egbuka is the future on that team. So this is the year he's got another year. He knows what the game is like at this level, and he's got Baker, and I really trust Baker. So give me Egbuka, baby.
Jail, I love that one. I was so close to going with Egbuka as well.
Felt easy, like he's the low-hanging fruits.
Yeah, but sometimes you got to snag that low-hanging fruit because you know why it's low-hanging? It's the juiciest. It's the heaviest, baby.
Yeah.
Or it's just on a low branch. It just got unlucky.
Yeah.
Them heavy low-hanging fruits. I got some low-hanging fruits, but I hope no one picks them. I'm going to go with a player who, barring a unexpected high draft pick of a wide receiver or a big free agent signing, might just be the wide receiver 1 on their team next year. And that's Ricky Pearsall. I feel like he has shown evidence that he can be a leading receiver for a team, but he has been behind Juwan Jennings. He's been behind Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk is unlikely to ever play another snap for the 49ers. Juwan Jennings, I think, is going to get a huge contract elsewhere, and that leaves Pearsall as the top dog in that offense from a receiving standpoint. They do not want to give the ball to Christian McCaffrey as much as they did during the regular season again next year. That was out of absolute necessity. That was everyone else on the team went down, including Pearsall this year for a large portion of the time. But if he can stay healthy, he should be the top dog wide receiver on a team that's consistently a playoff team, consistently a good offense. So I know it's a bit further down on the list, but this is a dude that I could see really breaking out next season. All the little pieces are lining up for him to have a big year.
That is a call, Simon. I respect it. I respect the call. I would be utterly shocked if they don't get somebody in there. Like they were already just making it work with duct tape. Juwan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall. There's no way they let a whole nother offseason go without getting some and letting Brandon Ayuk walk. That would be absolutely insane. It would be like at that point you'd have to question the leadership in San Francisco.
Dude, I've been questioning the leadership for years. Why they haven't hired a new strength and conditioning coach over the last 10 seasons. Why they're at there's something weird going on there. Every year you're like, this roster makes no sense, and then they make the playoffs. He'll be part of that.
Injured on the way.
He'll be part of that roster that makes no sense. It makes the playoffs next season, and I think a major piece in it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, I'll go first on the bust here. And And this one, again, this might be the low-hanging fruit here, but I've said time and time again that I just believe CeeDee Lamb is the wide receiver one in Dallas. I just think CeeDee Lamb is the better wide receiver. And I think given another season, he will reestablish that role. And I think that means George Pickens falls out of this top 12 type of player that he has been. That doesn't mean he's going to be bad, but I do think it means he's overdrafted. I do think it means you don't get the same level of production from him that you got with a CD missing time this year and then playing coming back from an injury. Not an anti-George Pickens take. This is a pro CeeDee Lamb take. There can be only one wide receiver one, and I don't think it's going to be you, George.
Yeah, that's fair, dude. I think I also had George Pickens.
That's okay. We can have the same one. We did not work on these together, and we haven't had any of the same ones so far. So if you have the same guy, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm with you, Simon. I think one of those wide receivers is about to get pinched, and and I think it's honestly, I think it could be either one of them. I'm not as bullish as you that CeeDee Lamb might not be the guy, but I feel like both of them, the talent is earned. They have this talent. It's not a fluke, but as I mentioned earlier, I don't know that the offense really functions as well next year. So he feels like somebody who could drop out.
We'll see. That's our first agreement on the entire thing, John Luke. Up next, what do we got? Tight ends next. And you know what? I'm going to take the breakout here first on this one. You took breakout last time. He's going to be on a new team. He's shown he can be a top 5 kind of guy in the right situation. If David Njoku lands in a place where he can be a top 2 kind of target, I think that dude still has it in him to put together a top 5 kind of tight end season. He is a big body target out there. He's fast. He runs clean routes, and he's got the best touchdown celebrations in the league. Teams are going to want to get him the ball just to see what DBZ dances he does in the end zone going forward. I'm going to pick David Njoku after a rough year with the Browns, after being outshone by Harold Fannin Jr. He'll have a bounce back year next year and get it done.
Man, we all hoped for Njoku to just be the guy, and then he finally was the guy. And here comes Harold Fannin.
Here comes Harold. That sounds like a book.
Here comes Harold Fannin.
It sounds like a novel. What do you read? No, Here Comes Harold.
Yeah, I picked Harold Fannin as my breakout tight end here. Without David Njoku, your guy, he's going to have a great season.
You know what? These could be complimentary tight end breakout picks, JL. They're not.
The breaking up of the two could relieve both.
They held each other back. They ate into each other's targets. You put them alone, and suddenly they're both super powered.
That could be the case. David Njoku is going to be 30. Harold Fannin's going to be like 22.
Which is going to make my bust pick even funnier. Because I put Harold Fannin Jr. as my bust pick. I think this offense is just going to be an absolute disaster in Cleveland next year. I have absolutely zero faith. He put together some crazy games down the stretch, and whatever you're expecting out of him, I think I would knock that down about 10 pegs. I think this is a dude that firmly returns to the glob of tight ends, where most weeks you're getting 1, 2, 3 PPR points out of him. And maybe once out of every 6 weeks, he scores a touchdown and you're happy you've got him in your lineup. And that's mostly going to be because I don't think the Browns are scoring very many touchdowns. I just don't think it's going to happen. And Todd Monken wants to run the ball. They're going to get blocking tight ends in there. They're going to try to run the ball with, I don't know, whoever the hell they can piece together, with Quinshon Judkins being more broken than we expected. This is an anti-Browns take, not an anti-Harold take, but we'll see how it plays out. And he was right on that line where, like, you could call him a breakout or a bust next year based on his performance this year. Like, he can elevate or drop from that point.
He really could. Do the tight ends, do they have to be in the top 12?
No.
In which
Forget
case
the
I would
rules.
probably switch to Njoku. I feel like he could definitely be ousted. But my pick is Colston Loveland. Even though he had a great rookie season, I think he's someone who landed in this top 12. Never mind. Can I change my pick, actually?
Yeah.
I'm going to change it to Juwan Johnson, who finished as a top 12 tight end this year with Tyler Shuck. No chance. There's no chance, Simon. No chance he ends up in the top 12 next year.
Oops, wrong Juwan. I was thinking Jennings.
Juwan Johnson.
Man, I can't spell today. Juwan Johnson. There we go. My bad. I got Juwan Jennings on the mind. It just keeps wanting me to type Juwan Jennings in there. I think you're right, Jay. tight ends are like a safety blanket for rookie quarterbacks a lot of the time. And maybe with a little bit more development, he doesn't need that anymore. Maybe this offense can actually move the ball a little bit better, and it's not as reliant on Jawan Johnson being the focal point anymore.
His target share was plus 10% all season. I can't imagine that continues. And during the first part of the season, both his playtime percentage and his target percentage was so high. It was like plus 20% on the target percentage. I don't expect he's going to do that again. Jawan Johnson's likely going to return back to the glob.
To the glob.
Enjoy
John
the
Luke,
glob.
who do you got as your running back breakout for next season?
All right, my running back breakout is a little spicy because he doesn't yet have a team, but I'm going Breece Hall.
Okay.
It's a little spicier without the team. I know, but it's just based off of talent at this point.
I don't hate it. And we've seen it in flashes, right? And we've been waiting for it, man.
Oh, yeah.
We've been waiting
it for sure.
Yeah, we have been waiting. Like, for the love of God, we've been waiting. Jail, I like that pick. I think it could happen. I think maybe there's some situations where he could land where it's not as clear cut. Maybe he ends up in more of a committee approach. But with the amount that a team's going to have to pay for him, like if a team is paying up for one of these Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker type running backs, those two names I mentioned at the beginning of the show, they probably want them to be the dude. They're probably not paying that kind of money for the second or third back in an offense.
Right. They're not the Giants taking Saquon Barkley.
So we will see how that pans out, where he ends up, but I do like that one. We got the Tootsie Pop in here. What's up, Rachel? Welcome in. Said, hi, Simon and JL. It's me. Hi, me.
What's up?
Glad to have you here.
Good to see you, my friend.
All right, JL. That leaves me for my breakout bounce back, and you know who I'm going to pick here. I've been flirting with saying his name the entire show. I've already said it probably 5 or 6 times. If he wouldn't have gotten injured, he would have been a top 12 running back this season. Omarion Hampton is the dude.
When did you fall in love with Omarion Hampton? I felt like I was in love with Omarion Hampton all season because I needed him, and then he got hurt. When did you fall in love with him?
All season? You mean after 3 weeks? Just kidding. Yes. I think he was injured.
But I was in love with him, and I was thinking about those first 3 weeks throughout the rest of the season because I needed it to win $5,000.
I drafted him in so many leagues this year, and it was glorious watching him go like this. And I got crazy trade after crazy trade after, and then just tank nothing.
The worst. When you're swimming in the trade offers and you're denying, you're declining, you're rejecting,
you're like, you don't idiots. Even care. You think I'm going to give him up, you buffoons.
Yeah, you're expecting time to just go on the same. No.
Yeah, not good. He had games of 24.9, 27.5, 13, 14.7, 16.5. Like, that dude was putting up top 12 type of running back numbers already. He just got hurt. He's going to have a full offseason to get right. He's got a new head coach in there that loves getting these running backs looking good. Look at Devon Achane in that Miami Dolphins offense. I think Omarion Hampton is going to be the focal point of that Chargers offense. And with that, top 12. And I think he could be a top 5 kind of back next season.
That's very, very great time, Simon. You just keep setting me up today because my bust for running back is unbelievable.
Yeah, I think that's 100% fair. You take away Mike McDaniel, and all of a sudden we don't know what this offense looks like. Who the hell is going to be their quarterback? Devon Achane is not your prototypical running back type of player. He's this small little fast guy who not a lot of coaches love. Mike McDaniel loves a small fast guy.
He's a good small little fast guy, but he's still a small little fast guy nonetheless.
It does feel risky. He felt risky this year to draft for some reason, and then he showed everyone shut up.
Yeah, without the Mike McDaniel piece in there, all the points, Simon, you were saying about Omarion Hampton now having Mike McDaniel, that was what Devon Achane had. Now it's the coach.
Now
the coach was doing that.
Now it's taken away. Jill, that's funny. I do feel like the same reason you picked him as a bust is the reason I picked Omarion Hampton as a breakout, plus what he did last season without a Mike McDaniel in there. And this player also doesn't have a team yet that I'm picking as a bust, but I feel like, and this hurts, Travis Etienne Jr., we haven't seen him consistently be the kind of back that can lead a team. What we've seen him do is put 1, 2 yards on the ground and then 45 yards. 1, 2, 1, 2, 45 yards. but that was on a team where he was given the majority of the carries. You know what I mean? I think he's more likely to end up on a team where he's not the sole lead back, where he's one of 2 or 3 guys, where he becomes more of a passing down specialist, or on a 3rd and long where they've got the running back in there that can break one big. Like if you're on a 3rd and 12, Travis Etienne is the perfect player to put in there because he'll be safe. He'll hold on to the ball, but there's a chance he breaks one off for 35 yards. I don't think he gets the same volume he gets next season. And without that volume, I don't think he's a top 12 guy.
Yeah, Simon, I think that is a good pick. And I hate to say it too. I hate to say that. I want nothing but continued success for you, Travis. But I fear it's not in the cards.
It hurts. It hurts. John Luke, this last one, if you've got something, I just left this kind of here for us to have a spot to call our shot for something happening. Something that's not on this list. It can be narrative based. It can be anything. It can be success based, player based. It can be a storyline that you think is going to happen. But this is an ability to just call a shot for the NFL. If you've got something, put it down there. If you don't, it's okay.
I think I got one. I got one for you, Simon. I think the Steelers experiment is about to go awry. I think it's about to come off the rails, crash and burn into a giant fire. Mike McCarthy is not a fantastic coach in my mind. He's not a strong leader. And if Aaron Rodgers decides to come back, this could turn into the Aaron Rodgers show in Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh's got a very strong identity. I don't think they're going to like that too much, especially if the wins aren't coming. So I'm going to go with the Steelers. They go down this year. It does not go well. Mike McCarthy gets fired, and Aaron Rodgers never plays for the Steelers again.
JL, I like that one. And not just as a fellow AFC North non-Steelers fan, but I like when they fired Tomlin, I was like, I get it. I get the logic. I get the reasoning. This just feels like a bad move.
It's like everything you hated about Tomlin. Mike McCarthy's the same thing, but without all the cool parts that Tomlin's got, without all the cool leadership parts that Mike Tomlin's got.
Like if you were going to fire Mike Tomlin, you wanted to go get one of these young up and comer guys that you could like build the next generation Steelers around. Instead, you've got Mike McCarthy, recycled Mike McCarthy. I'm sorry. I know he's
he did good stuff in Dallas. And I'm like, I don't know that was him. I think that was Dan Quinn. And I think that was Jerry Jones. I don't know that was really Mike McCarthy. I think he's just like a yes kind of guy.
Oh God, that's maybe the meanest thing you can say about a coach is I don't know if that success was yours. I think it was Jerry Jones's.
Yeah, I think it was. Jerry Jones is wearing the pants down there. He's the one making the decisions. And then Dan Quinn, I think, is able to pull that defense together.
I like that call. I would enjoy to watch it happen because I don't like the Steelers and I like Mike Tomlin. So it would be fun to watch a franchise I dislike fail after getting rid of maybe my favorite coach in the NFL. Would be a delightful experience. Mine is maybe a little bit safe, but I think people have been predicting it for years. I think this is Travis Kelce's last season.
This upcoming one?
This upcoming one. No, this upcoming season. I think he plays one more, and then he's calling.
Travis Kelce plays his last season this year.
Travis Kelce plays his last season in 2026.
That's when he hangs up the cleats.
Whether they make the playoffs, whether they win the Super Bowl, I think this is it for him. He started declining a little bit. He's got everything in front of him. He's engaged to Taylor Swift. He's got a loving family. His mom was just on Traders. He needs to go support her. He needs one more. Yeah, he didn't feel satisfied after last season, so I think he's going to give it another shot, kind of like Tom Brady did. Tom Brady gave it one more shot. He kind of wanted that Super Bowl.
His marriage for it, but
lost his marriage for it, but he wanted one more Super Bowl. And even when it didn't happen, he said, okay, you know what? I'm done. And I think this is that season for
now he's regretting it.
Yeah, now he's going to start for the U.S. Olympic flag football team is what's going to end up happening. That's how he's going to get his football fix going forward.
Yeah, the dream team, flag football team doesn't have the same ring to it.
No, it doesn't. All right, well, John Luke, we're going to keep track of these as the season goes on. And it's just a fun way to think about the upcoming year. Look at these players, look at who's going to break out, who's going to bust, and who's going to do something in between. We got free agency continuing. We'll probably see some more franchise tags over the next couple weeks. And then in 2 weeks' time, 2.5, all that juicy news will start coming in about where the Breece Halls are going to land, where the Travis Etiennes are going to land, where the Mike Evans are going to land.
Free agency. It's like my favorite
so much fun. So get ready. Anything else before we hop off, John Luke?
Nope. Arrivederci.
Love each other, everybody. Support each other. And we will see y'all tomorrow. Follow us on Twitter at Front Yard FYF. Hit that notification bell at FYF on YouTube to know when we're going live. Until then, adios, everyone.
Goodbye to you and you.